Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Unscripted for another installment of Best Bets. In today's Best Bets video, we are breaking down the odds and my picks for Day 4 of the Minnesota ROKKR Home Series. And as always, we are doing it off the script. So it's been a while since I did one of these betting videos. I actually was just trying to think of video ideas for the weekend, and I thought, I'll do a betting video. I'm going to do it for the last day because it seems like a pretty interesting day of matches, and I've also been having a pretty good weekend on the bets so far. So hopefully we can keep that success going today and get some good picks out there for you guys. And if you enjoy, don't forget to leave a like down below and leave a comment as well with your thoughts on the video and also your picks for the day. And subscribe to the channel as well if you want to see more videos like this one from me in the future. I appreciate all of that more than you would ever know. And let's hop right into the video. So kicking us off today, we have a matchup between the Paris Legion and the LA Thieves, and this clearly has not been a very good stage for the Paris Legion. They are 0-6 across 2 series right now. They have not won a map yet in this series or in this stage, but they've also played the Atlanta FaZe and Optic, so it's not like they've been playing bad teams. They've been playing 2 of the 3 or 4 best teams in the league right now, and obviously FaZe, the best team by far. So that's a little bit misleading. They're not that bad of a team, though they're not very good either. On the LA Thieves side, they've been playing pretty well since they got John in their lineup, and Slashers, of course, he's in there too. 3-3 so far in hard points, 3-1 in search, and 1-2 in control. They have wins over London and New York in a very awesome series, and then a 3-1 loss to FaZe in a series that was actually pretty close. Both hard points kind of close in that series. That series really could have went to LA Thieves' way, or at least went to a Game 5. But regardless, we are here. Paris versus LA, and those are the odds. LA, of course, favored pretty heavily across all 3 maps. And I will have a pick for this one at the end. But if you haven't seen these videos before, I put my picks at the end. So I'll go through all the odds for all 3 matches, and then the picks will follow at the end of the video. So right now, on to the next match will be Atlanta FaZe versus Optic Chicago. FaZe pretty big favorites in this one, but there was also some line movement here. When I checked yesterday or Friday, FaZe was minus 2.5 for the series. Now they are minus 1.5. So there was obviously some money coming in on Optic would be my guess, either at plus 2.5 or the money line, because FaZe has now moved. They are only minus 1.5 in the series. They are still favored across all modes, though. I think the hard point's interesting because if FaZe is going to allow some maps in, maybe checkmate like with LA Thieves, they usually don't play that map. But they did against the Thieves, who are a pretty good checkmate team, and they almost lost it, but they ended up winning, but it was close. And if they will allow checkmate to get through against Optic, that could be a loss for FaZe. So if they want to experiment with maps, Optic could be able to pull off a win in map 1, in my opinion, if it is checkmate. But if it's not, FaZe still pretty heavily favored there, of course. But, Optic no slouches in that mode. Then a search, it's even closer. Optic plus 150 there. I think there's a couple of maps where Optic could be competitive, but honestly, I think the value is probably in FaZe when it comes to search, because they should be pretty heavily favored across most maps. Not all, not Express, but like Raid, Moscow, they're pretty good at those maps. Optic good at Moscow too. So I guess I can see it being competitive, but I like the value in search for FaZe there a little bit. And then control, of course, no surprise, FaZe the favorites there. They're awesome at control. They are just insane. Like, they put teams in the blender so much, it's not even competitive. It looks like league play a lot of the times when these guys play control. And if that's on, it's probably going to be on Garrison or Raid. I do not think they'll let checkmate control through. Maybe hardpoint, but not control. If they do, Optic could definitely take that map. But whether it's Raid or Garrison, which it probably will be one of those two, I definitely like FaZe either way on either of those maps, and pretty convincingly, as you'll see at the end. So those are the odds for Optic versus FaZe. And finally, ending the day will be the Dallas Empire versus the host team, the Minnesota ROKKR. Dallas is coming off their loss to Florida in a series that was pretty close. They kind of threw some matches away. They might have been able to win the match overall, but they lost it. And Minnesota coming off a win. I forget who they even played earlier in the week. Seattle, I think. I'm pretty sure it was Seattle. I'm not 100% sure, but I think. Anyway, Dallas pretty favored despite, not having the best series or the best stage so far. They are favored in the hard point pretty significantly. They've only won 1 hard point yet this stage, but they are favored pretty well there. Search, they are 1-1 so far. They're favored there as well. And then control, they're favored not by as much. They are 2-0 though so far in control. So that has been their best and most reliable game mode so far this stage. Minnesota, they're having a pretty good stage though. They're positive in all the modes. They're underdogs in all the modes. So there's definitely some value here in my opinion in Minnesota, as we're going to see on the next page though. I really like Minnesota a lot. I think they are hitting form right now. Standy, he's phenomenal. We know that. Priesta is playing pretty well. If Attach and Major Maniac can just keep playing decent, they don't have to play great. They're the guys on that team who are supposed to be the role players. So if they can play their roles well and let Standy and Priesta go do their thing, this can be a very good team, and this can be a team who most definitely can beat Dallas, especially the way Dallas has looked so far, because it really has not been very pretty for those guys yet. Finally, we are into the picks. Atlanta, map 3, minus 1.5. That would be the control. And Minnesota, map 3, plus 1.5, coming in at plus 180. I like that pick because, like I said, I don't see FaZe letting control checkmate through. And if either of the other maps, they're big favorites in my opinion. Raid and Garrison, they're phenomenal on both of those maps. Optic not so much, so I like that. Even if it's 3-1, that bet still covers. So I can definitely see FaZe winning that one 3-1. And then Minnesota on the control plus 1.5, because I can see the control between those two teams being very close, as a lot of controls are. Though this stage, it's been really weird. 13 out of 16 controls have been 3-0s this year, which has not been what I would expect. Controls, a lot of times it's like, oh, defense wins a lot, we go to round 5, consistently, but not the case this stage. So hopefully, if that trend holds in this Minnesota series, it is in favor of Minnesota, because obviously them losing 3-0 would not cover plus 1.5. But I think these are two evenly matched control teams. I can definitely see a map 5 there, or just a Minnesota win outright, not a map 5, a round 5 win. So if they lose 3-2 or they win outright, that would obviously cover. That's a plus 180. I like that one. I'm locking that in. Minnesota money line at plus 245 just to beat Dallas outright. I actually locked this one in Friday night at plus 265, so I was on the right end of that line movement there. I think Dallas has not looked the best recently, and Minnesota has been looking very good. It's not even necessary that I think Minnesota's going to win. Obviously I think they're going to win, or I wouldn't have bet on it, but it's more just the value. I think they probably should be underdogs, but by a little bit. Definitely not by plus 245 or plus 265. That's a little bit crazy to me, so as soon as I saw that bet, I pretty much locked it in, and I was very happy to get those odds on that one. Paris map 2 plus 255. I think most of this movement probably came in because of LA Thieves beating FaZe in a search and destroy on Moscow. That was a very impressive win, obviously. But Paris should not be this big of underdogs against the Thieves in search. Last stage, Paris was one of the best search teams in the entire league. LA Thieves, not so much. I know their roster has been changing all the time, and they did get that win over FaZe. However, that is very good value in my opinion. Unfortunately, I got in at plus 235 on Friday night as well, so I was on the wrong side of that line movement, but the right side of the other one, so it shakes itself out in the end. But either way, plus 235, plus 255, I would like Paris to win this search anywhere down to plus 200, because they have been a very good search team, even though they've been good at nothing else. In this stage, they've not won a search, but again, they played really good teams, and they most definitely should not be that big of underdogs against the Thieves in search and destroy, so I like that one a lot. Minnesota to win map 2 outright, plus 155. I think that's mostly due to their strengths. I could say it's due to Dallas' struggles, but they're still a fine search team. However, I do really like Minnesota. I think they've been good at search. That has the potential to be their best game mode. I'd say overall it's probably been control. But with the players they have on their team, there's no reason they can't be a very good search and destroy team. So I like that a lot. Stanley's been great in search. Major Maniac's a good search player as well. And then, of course, like I said, Dallas' struggles play into that too. They really have not been the best at any mode this stage. I guess control are 2-0, but they're like, 1-2 or 1-1 in search. So they definitely can lose that map. I like Minnesota there as the underdogs. Not huge underdogs, but I still like it nonetheless. And finally, I locked in Paris plus 2.5 on the map count at minus 155. I think there's a decent chance they take a map off the Thieves. The Thieves are not some invincible team who's just going to come out there and steamroll Paris, at least not in my opinion. I think Paris, they've had their struggles. Obviously, it's been a very stressful and unfortunate year for those guys who I like them a lot. I really hate to see their struggles so bad. However, the LA Thieves are no powerhouse. They've been looking better, there's no doubt in my mind, but they are not powerhouses, and Paris is definitely, I think, better than the record shows. But I've been saying that all season long, and it really has not come to fruition yet, so hopefully today's the day where they have a good series. I don't even need them to win the series. I just need them to win one map. Hopefully it's map 2. That would be awesome. If they win map 2, that guarantees both of those bets hit. That would be a great day for us. I think it can happen. I do think it will happen, and that's why I locked in the bets on those two things to happen. So those are the bets for the day. If you are following along, let me know in the comments down below. And also, don't forget to size your bets accordingly. Like these middle 2 bets, or the Minnesota money line and the Paris map 2, those big odds, you don't have to put full-size bets on those because they're unlikely to happen. They're not as likely to happen. I still think they will happen, but they're not favored. So those are definitely smaller bets for me. The bottom 2 bets are pretty well normal size, and the top bet's kind of in the middle. So you always want to structure your bets according to the odds. You don't want to put, a crazy amount of money on something very unlikely to happen, because most times you will end up losing that money, and then it really won't matter. Even if you got very close and you still lose, that doesn't matter in the betting world, you still lose. So definitely size your bets accordingly. And if you are following along, like I said, let me know in the comments down below, and let me know if you have any picks you think I should check out for the day. Subscribe to the channel as well if you want to see more videos like this one from me in the future, because I should be able to make betting videos the rest of the season. So definitely, if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. So that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you have a good day today, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.